This is an NVX VCW 12-inch subwoofer. In this video, I'm going to unbox it and compare it to the rest of the NVX lineup. I'm totally stoked about this. NVX sent me out some samples. I've already uploaded some builds featuring these subwoofers, and more videos are on the way. But today I wanted to just take a second and go over the entire NVX subwoofer lineup for you. They offer 4 subwoofer lines: the N, the VC, the VS, and the S. That naming convention is a little odd. For the most part, NVX breaks all of their products into 3 categories: N, V, and X. For the components and coaxials, N is the entry level, V is the mid-level, and X is the top tier level. Good, better, best. These X-Series components have a carbon fiber mid-base and they look amazing. I installed a set in my truck and they sound every bit as good as they look. For the amplifiers, the N-Series is a standard Class D amp, the V-Series are marine amplifiers, and the X-Series appear to be compact full bridge amplifiers. They also have some compact ATV and motorcycle amplifiers as well. So that doesn't really follow the good, better, best pattern. But the subwoofers do follow a good, better, best model, only they don't offer an X-Series subwoofer. Now, N is the entry-level subwoofer. They're available in either a 10 or a 12 in either dual 2 ohm or dual 4 ohm configurations. A lot of subs in this price range are only available in single voice coil models, so it's kind of cool that NVX makes those available on their entry-level low price models. And let's be honest, the typical person who watches my channel would probably pass on these. But what you have to keep in mind is that most consumers are probably going to pick the smaller, less powerful subwoofers. These don't require huge, expensive amplifiers or complicated electrical upgrades. Right now, as I'm filming this, the 10 is on sale. It's a Black Friday deal. You're gonna have a hard time finding any decent subwoofer for less than what this thing is currently priced at. And that 10 is rated for 250 watts. These are a great deal. I recommend that if you have the space, upgrade to the 12s instead of the 10. The power rating on the 12 is 350 watts, plus you've got more cone area, so it's more efficient than the 10, and they're only a few bucks more than the 10. Now, of course, these are entry-level budget subwoofers. They've got a paper cone, a 2-inch voice coil, and a stamped steel basket. They do have chrome-plated push terminals and woven tinsel leads. You don't always get those on subwoofers in this price range. The cone's got a light gray NVX logo, so it's clean and elegant. It's not a monster SPL subwoofer. If that is what you're looking for, then keep watching, because NVX does offer a much beefier subwoofer. A pair of these and an inexpensive amp like an XAD11, and you'll have a rock solid budget system. I'm not sure if my DIY Audio 10 coupon code will work during the Black Friday sale, but give it a try. If it works, let me know down in the comments. Next up is the first of the 2 V-Series subwoofers, the VSW. I just finished a build with a VSW 15 and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. These are available in 8s, 10s, 12s, and 15s, and they're also available in either a dual 2 ohm or a dual 4 ohm configuration. More power handling, bigger magnets, more X-Max, lower resonant frequency. One difference to note here, both the N and the VS subwoofers use stamped steel frames. But the VS frames have these little ridges right here. That little bitty bend adds a lot of extra strength to the frame. Of course, the price kicks up when you jump up to better subwoofers, but these still bring some fantastic bang for the buck. Personally, I think this is the best looking of the 4. I like plain and simple black cones that don't have garish logos yelling back at you in a bunch of crazy colors. Think back to the gray and red cones that were so popular back in the early 2000s. That look didn't age well. The design on these VS drivers is going to be timeless. Next in the lineup is the S-Series. They've got 2 versions, a 350 watt 10 and a 400 watt 12, both in dual 4 ohm configurations. These drivers have a carbon fiber reinforced poly cone and a very slim mounting depth. On the back, it still has the same push terminals and woven tinsel leads. One thing to note, there's no vent on the back of the magnet. That way you don't have to worry about the clearance behind the magnet. And one really cool thing about the shallow mounts is they throw in this metal plate right here. This lets you cut a hole in the back of your box, and then you can cover that hole with the plate in order to get more clearance for the magnet. So if you're using 3/4 inch material, that gives you another 3/4 inch of clearance. You could, in theory, mount this thing in a box with less than 2 inches of internal depth. Now the 12 is just $10 more than the 10, and if you have enough airspace and enough room for the 12, then I highly recommend you jump up to the 12. You need all the extra cone area you can get because thin subwoofers tend to not have a lot of X-Max. I just wrapped up a series on shallow mount subwoofers that include a thin box design to fit behind the seat of a standard cab pickup truck. I'll make sure to give you a link to that video either up here at the top of this video or down in the video description. This is NVX's top of the line subwoofer, the VC series. They come in 10, 12, and 15 inch sizes, again in dual 2 ohm and dual 4 ohm configurations. Here's the VCW 12 side by side with the VSW 15, and you can see the 12 is almost as tall as the 15, and they both completely dwarf the N-Series 12. The VCW is a completely different monster. The VCW 10 is rated for about the same amount of power as the VSW 15. And you can see here the spider is held in place with a bolt down ring. The 10 has a 2.5 inch voice coil, while the 12 and the 15 kick it up to a 3 inch coil and are rated for 1200 watts. I contacted NVX, said they have a hard time keeping the 15 in stock. As soon as they get them, they just fly right out the door. This thing's got a high roll surround, a cast basket, a big triple stacked 195 ounce magnet, a fiber reinforced cone, and a stitch surround. When the moving parts get heavy and the suspension gets stiff, two things happen. One, the FS, or the resonant frequency, drops. So the resonant frequency of the 12 is like 25 hertz. And then the sensitivity also drops. The sensitivity on this one is 85 decibels. And that's what you get in exchange for higher power handling. And what I need to do next is drop this beast into a box and see if it bumps. But that is a topic for another video. If you want to see that, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it.